Good evening and welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. Simply click on that link with the page you are currently watching on mute to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the show using sock accounts. You'll simply be ejected again. With that, I'm going to transition across to my photographs and invite anybody who is in the current live audience to share the show on social media, and I will do the same. Once again, if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Just finished sharing the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and I would encourage anybody who is in the live audience to please do exactly the same. Please share the show on social media. Once again, I'll do my plugs as we do have a guest in the Hangout already. If you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you'd like to join the debate as Music Man has done, feel free to click on the link in the info box below this video and join the show live. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. Number 2, if you are ejected for swearing, please do not try to rejoin the show using sock accounts. And with that, I'm going to say hey, big hello to Stiggy and Music Man, who have both just joined the Hangout. How are you doing, gentlemen? I assume you're both gentlemen.
Good, thanks. Good evening, Nathan. How was your day?
Yes, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. As there's two of you, I can immediately go on mute and start playing with my kid. Wonderful. Have fun.
Go for it. Yeah, have a good time with your child. So
well, I can tell by your tone, you're definitely a globe.
Who is it with me right now? What is your name?
How's it going, Mike? My name's David. Nice to meet you.
David, good to meet you. Are you here to support the heliocentric model? Good. Isn't it refreshing to not finally hear some of those people?
Do I take it you are a flat earther?
Well, I think the horizon is level, but I don't know about which model. I don't know how the lands are arranged. It's just it's an ongoing research. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, well, are you obsessed with the AE model, or do you like the Pac-Man theory, or do you like the convex or a concave?
I don't particularly enjoy speaking to people with a condescending tone, for a start.
Okay, well, let me know when that comes, because I'm asking you seriously. Which model do you like?
Page 3 ones.
What did you say?
Page 3 ones. Never mind.
Page three ones. I'm not familiar with that reference.
It's a UK term, never mind.
Yes, I've never been there.
On page 3 of a UK newspaper, well, some UK newspaper, you get a topless model, female.
Oh, great. That's a funny joke. Okay, well, yeah, I'm asking pilots every time I fly now, what they use as their map. And it's interesting, stewardesses will agree with me. Because I can't always get to the captains, but the stewardesses will tell me, yeah, it's flat. But which model did you say you liked? Are you going to answer, or did you not hear me?
Are you there, music man?
Yeah, I just asked him a simple question.
Okay.
Maybe Negatronics will come in here.
I like you, Stiggy. You've got some spunk, mate. I like it.
Well, I'm just curious why he was so offended by just asking him which layout of the land that he appreciated the most. I love the dome theory, but I also love the infinite plane theory. So it's just, yeah, I think people are still not wanting to attach to a model because there's still that analogy of, oh, you're crazy if you think it's this way.
I guess I'm somewhat guarded today because I've only been in 2 or 3 of these debates, and I'm hardly a talented debater. But I was reading some of the comments earlier, and I find them quite slanderous and hateful. Obviously,
Wait,
go on, Mike.
you're reading some of the comments?
Just on the videos which Nathan posted to his channel afterwards. Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. Don't worry about those comments.
But obviously, some of the people who attending these debates, they are very skilled debaters and have, they're well versed in debating generally, I think.
Yes, some have very glib conversations, but some fall when they're trying to explain things. You can get a lot of these glow believers to say the dumbest things that they believe. You start getting them to talk about distant space probes, and you can tell in the sound of their voice they have no idea what they're talking about. The comments are there
We've been
to get
joined
you
by
angry and
Brenda.
distract
Good
you.
to have you here, Brenda.
Good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Brenda.
Yeah, good evening, Brenda. Happy Thanksgiving.
So what kind of dumb things do we believe?
I couldn't understand. I didn't hear your question. I don't know if your volume is too low.
What kind of dumb things do we believe?
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, you're right. Some people believe in a lot of interesting things that are even could be weirder than flat Earth. For example, my neighbor used to believe that if she touched her doorbell 2 times before she left, is that an OCD thing, or is that just because she had, some sort of thing wrong with her? I don't know, but she thought it helped her.
Sounds like OCD.
Sure.
But I was talking specifically, you'd mentioned that people who believe the facts about the Earth believe dumb things, and I was wondering what those dumb things were.
Oh, did I say that exactly? Did I say they believe in dumb things? Oh, I meant like Voyager, if that's what you're talking about, or Dawn, the new space probe that's going to an asteroid. That sort of dumb thing.
What's dumb about sending a probe to an asteroid?
Oh, for $600 million? Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to think what would be more useful to do with that money. Let's see. I'm racking my brain here. Would I rather send a probe to an asteroid? Or, I mean, I'm sure you could answer that, right? You know I'm being facetious.
While you are being facetious, we have been joined by Validation Boy. Good to have you here, VB.
Thanks so much, Nathan. Hey, I just want to quickly dispel any kind of a mystery or anything. The Stiggy Vandrinskine is Lewis Hackett, guys. Just letting you guys know that. That's Lewis Hackett that you're speaking to right now.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to inform everybody that you are Lewis Hackett, and it's quite obvious.
That's not
Actually,
him.
that's not true at all. That's not true at all, Validation Boy.
No one's talking to you, Brenda. No one's talking to you.
That's not him. That's not him.
Validation Boy, can Lewis Hackett do this?
Just letting you guys know.
Just so you know,
can Lewis
Validation
Hackett-
Boy has also been accused of being Stephen Christ. Just so you know.
This is Lewis Hackett. It's Stiggy
No,
Vandrinskine.
what's your proof? What's your proof?
Look, let's not make the debate about whether I'm Lewis Hackett or not. I don't even know who that man is.
I don't care if you're the man on the moon.
Exactly. Let's get back to the Dawn asteroid probe. Set to release in 2023.
Okay.
Are you excited for it?
I hadn't heard about it till now, but I think it's a great
look.
thing. I think it's a great thing. Yes.
Okay,
It's
why?
fantastic.
Why would
Because
we do
should
that?
we should explore our world and find out as much as we can about it.
Sure.
And
But don't you
it's
think we
better-
should take care of our world first?
Sure. I think that we should not engage in war, in illegal wars of choice in order to defend companies like the Iraq War, which cost the U.S. taxpayer $3 trillion.
Sure.
So if you want to complain about NASA spending pocket change.
Oh, pocket
which is what
change.
600, yes,
Oh,
pocket change.
You think NASA spends pocket change? Do you know how much probes they have out there? How many?
I thought you were going to talk about money.
No, do you know how many probes they have to get all that money?
No, I don't.
Oh,
don't
wow,
know.
thousands.
I don't think they have thousands of probes.
Well, they have thousands of satellites.
No, I don't think they do.
Oh, you don't?
There's a lot of commercial satellites.
Well, I think you're wrong.
You don't think there are a lot of commercial satellites?
I think there's stuff in the sky, but not how they tell us.
So you don't think there are any satellites?
No. I think there's some crafts that they've figured out how to fly up there.
So you don't think there are any satellites?
Not how they've told us. Not those lame pictures.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You don't believe that there are any
Oh,
satellites?
no. Not like that.
That's my question. Do you believe that satellites, as they are understood, they are electronic instruments
In the
typically
thermosphere.
orbiting the Earth? Do you think that
Oh,
these
no.
things?
No.
Yeah. So I don't understand what you're complaining about.
Because if they are in fact lying about it and taking the money, well, that's not very good.
That's true, but you don't have any proof that they don't exist.
Well, that's okay, but it's going to happen.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay to make baseless assertions based on absolutely no information at all.
Well, what's the proof they do exist?
Photographs.
Photographs of a satellite
Yes.
in space
Yes.
by another satellite, right? Another satellite took the picture, huh?
When they're deployed from the space shuttle, yes.
Okay, but I'm saying, how do we know they're still up there and they're moving? What if they just showed you that and that was it? Are you these satellites?
So you think there are satellites now?
No,
You
I'm
think it's
saying,
possible that
what if
they're
they just
satellites?
what if they just showed you some fake relaunch?
Well, what if monkeys flew out of my butt?
Well, that's a Wayne's World quote.
Yeah. What if they did?
Then
I
you
mean,
should see a
it's just
doctor.
Terrible. Oh my God! I should see a doctor. Because
If monkeys
what
are
if
coming,
monkeys flew out of my butt?
Because that's a great analogy. What do we got here?
Alguém tem uma faca aí na cinta? Até falar esse bicho pra lá. Vamos puxar ele pra lá? Quero só a corda. Vamos puxar ele pra lá? Vamos tirar ele daqui.
Is that the show? That's it? Well, I hope Mad Mike survives this. Because it's going to be a lot of big press. It's going to be big. I just don't get why the astronauts just don't do stuff about it. Why they're still making these dumb videos up on the space station. They could easily just disprove it all, but they can't. And Music Man knows this. Oh, good.
What happened?
I don't know. I think you were mad that you couldn't prove Dawn.
Yep, we've been joined by David. How you doing, David?
Mad.
I
was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic. I didn't.
It sounded like you pushed your hang-up button pretty aggressively.
I don't recall doing that, although I suppose it's possible.
Okay, my mistake. So
I have pushed to talk, so it's possible I hit the wrong button.
Oh, that's okay. Why do you come in here and convince people? Are you a good convincer?
I come in here to debate the flat Earth with other people because I feel it helps my skills at debate. It makes me to helps me to understand better what it is I believe and why I believe it. And
so you come in here for more of the debates, like an actual feeling of debates. It doesn't matter what the topic is.
Well, generally these are flat Earth debates, but I suppose I could discuss any topic if you want.
But do you go to other live debate channels and debate
yes.
people?
Okay, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Great.
Yes.
Been joined by Free Minded. Good to have you here.
Hi, Free
And by
Minded.
David.
Nathan.
So we were talking about satellites, and I said that we have photographs of satellites in orbit around Earth.
Sure, we do.
And you didn't have any kind of response to that other than simply your disbelief.
Yeah, I just don't know how they got two different satellites together at going those speeds, and then one takes a picture of the other one, and then they send it back. It just doesn't. I don't think it's happening. I don't think they're using radio waves because they diminish with distance, and there's like refraction issues. And if the Earth is spinning, like, what's happening? I mean, are the satellites still moving together, but with Earth's spin and with its orbit?
Well,
sorry, the sirens weren't me, Nathan. I was trying to figure out who it was also.
I don't know I didn't know who it was, so I just muted everyone who wasn't talking.
It was Stiggy. It was Stiggy.
Okay, yes.
He had some.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, it didn't make any sense at all.
Well, do you know how hard it is to believe people when they say, "Oh yeah, when an object goes up in the sky, in the space, it's still moving with the Earth that's moving 66,000 miles per hour."
Why is that hard?
It's very hard.
I did attempt. Sorry.
What did you say? Go ahead. I've been talking too much. Go ahead.
I did attempt to get a quote from a company called Interorbital Satellite Systems, the launching of we call it a CubeSat. It's a small satellite.
Oh yeah, heard of them.
Yeah, but I had nothing back from them at all after several attempts.
You've heard nothing back from them.
No, I would urge anybody themselves to try and make contact with them and try and get a quote, because their website.
Yeah.
Their website.
No, that's a great idea.
What would you get a quote from them about? They have or what?
They say they offer a service of independent satellite launch on their rockets.
Y'all are lucky Dale's not here. He'd cuss all y'all out.
Well, they probably, you probably did not have a sufficient bank account to interest them. That would be my guess.
Very presumptuous of yourself.
I didn't.
You have to have a big
hear.
bank.
How much do you think do they advertise that launch one of these stats then?
I have no
let's
idea
talk
how
about
much.
flat Earth over here.
$7,000 US, which is hardly, a phenomenal amount.
Come on, Nathan, step in over here.
Anyway, I'm going to screen share something, if that's okay.
Any other flat earthers on here?
Yeah, there's several.
Can you see this small video I put together?
Just so you know, David, the globe earthers are hopelessly outnumbered. She is of one, so I'd be much more inclined
I am
to.
of one, but I can handle it. I can handle it with my one arm tied behind my back.
Sure, but
Yeah,
I'm much more inclined to defend
times.
Brenda than anyone else as she's on her own, just so you know.
Dale doesn't talk to
understand.
people, he yells at them.
Can you see this video, Brenda?
Yes. I
Go on
see
the
dots.
Oh, yeah. I'm going back to what I was pushing earlier. On the left-hand side here, we have the rotating Earth, yes?
Okay.
If you can disregard the the sunlight and stuff, this is just for the purpose of this example. So where my cursor is not at the moment, this is where you'd be standing position A. The red one is position B. Then if we look up, these are the stars which we see move over this duration of time. There's the arc and there's the lateral movement. Can you see this?
Okay.
So I've now removed the globes. So these are now just places in space and time, yes?
Okay.
And you see this movement. So the time this movement takes place, in 3 hours, these positions here move laterally to here. So why do we not see this in the stars above us?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's
It
with all the
doesn't make
clicking?
any sense to me at all. It doesn't correspond to the way the real world looks. I don't know what you mean by moving from here to here.
Well, we say that the evidence of the Earth rotating is seen in the stars above us.
Well, either the stars are moving or we're moving, right?
I think the stars are moving.
Right. One of us is moving.
I think the stars are moving, yes.
Yeah, but yes.
Oh,
So
you're not-
one of us is moving.
You're
That
not,
must be the case, right?
so you're not debating that, are you?
No. I'm just establishing that we both agree that either the stars are moving or the Earth is moving.
Yeah, the stars are moving. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the stars are moving.
Right?
Yeah, and if you told
So
if you
that
asked-
doesn't have a lot to do with the shape of the Earth, because
No, but
we
it's-
could be in a geocentric universe with the stars rotating in a celestial sphere around us.
right, what's more important?
More
What's more
like-
important, the shape or the model?
Whether
The
it's flat
shape
or
is a
not.
model.
No, you don't
Shape
think
is a model.
I'm saying if the sun is moving, is that more important if the sun is moving or the Earth?
I think they both hold the same
So
merit.
I'm trying to understand the illustration that music has presented here, and I don't understand what he's trying to get to.
When we see time-lapse footage of the stars above us, we witness this type of movement,
Right.
yes?
Yeah, they form concentric circles in the sky when you take a long time lapse circle. There's a concentric circle going one direction in the northern hemisphere, and one going in the other direction in the southern hemisphere. Exactly what you would predict.
Yeah.
So
if
where
If
does
the
this?
Earth was round.
So where does
Oh,
this
you're
happen?
assuming.
Where does
And it
this happen
completely
at?
falsifies. It falsifies a flat Earth.
No, you are
Where does this
assuming.
happen at?
You are
No,
assuming.
you got to ask her where this happens at. All you got to do is say,
Where
where
what
does this
happens?
happen at?
So if we
What are you
take,
talking about?
Where the
take into
north?
account-
We see concentric.
sorry
we
to
see
interrupt,
concentric
guys.
circles when
Sorry
you take
to
a
interrupt.
time-lapse photo.
Sorry,
When you,
we've
when
been
you- we
joined
see
by Pure
concentric
Anarchy.
circles,
Can I
the
just say
star
a quick?
trails.
Really sorry, Brenda. I just want to say later our latest guest. We've been joined by
sorry.
Pure Anarchy. Pleased to have you here.
Hey, Pure.
So we see concentric circles in the northern hemisphere, and we see concentric circles in the southern hemisphere, and they revolve
okay.
exactly as you would expect if the Earth was round, and it
Okay.
completely falsifies the flat Earth.
So
Right?
how does this
No.
happen? How do you prove this?
Yeah, it must.
So let me ask you this question. So
You take a picture.
if I'm driving out of Chicago and I'm going to South America, so where does this happen at?
Before you answer, we've been joined by
like,
Gem Panda 2012. Pleased to have you here.
Hi,
You know,
thank you very much.
We live half the balls on our side of the world over here. So when does this happen? Like you go through Mexico and then you get all the way down and you're going to Chile. Where does this happen at where all of a sudden the stars start turning the opposite direction?
South of the
At
equator.
the equator.
Yeah. So you're telling me, so is there like
Yeah.
a 100-mile radius there and all of a sudden everything starts going backwards? Is that what you're saying?
No,
No,
in one instance you're looking south, and in the other you're looking north.
Exactly.
So you can see this. You could see part of the southern star shrouds from the USA if you look south.
Well, wouldn't it depend on where you're standing at? I mean, that if you're driving and you're to get there, it just depends. You can only see so many stars from where you're standing at. That's the whole point, isn't it?
We've also been
Right.
joined by Curved Water.
But-
Pleased to have you here, Curved. Thanks for being here.
But I mean, if you look south from North America, you wouldn't be able to see the southern celestial pole, but you'd be able to
Of course,
see.
but if you walk there, you'd see it, and all you would
Right.
see was the stars that are there.
There isn't
above
some
your head
magical
when you get
point.
there.
Right, so there isn't some magical point where things suddenly switch around. What you see when you go south is what you would see if you looked south from the USA. You just see more of it.
It's
The further
progressive.
south you go.
Well, why is it that I talked to Wolfie six? What's that man's name? That Australian fellow, Wolfie 60.
Wolfie 6020.
Wolfie
Yeah, we
6020.
know who it is.
Yes, he's some of your guys' most respectable savior. He
Very
said
good.
that.
No,
Yes, he's
that's
very. Okay, sorry. I meant that. I meant that. Yeah, I know. He was trying to explain to me why Polaris didn't move on the seasons, because if you all look at a diagram, you say that the Earth axis is pointed at Polaris, but that would change dramatically on the seasons. But you guys always say, "Well, that's because the star is so far away."
How do you
Wait,
prove we
just
live on a
the
globe?
Earth-
How do you prove
Okay.
that we live on a globe on the ground?
Stop. David, stop.
How do we do that? How do we prove
Somebody-
we live on a globe on the
Stiggy just
ground?
asked a question, David.
Yeah,
Stiggy
just-
asked a question. Can somebody answer Stiggy's question, please?
He doesn't like talking about space. He likes to stay on the ground. I get it. They distract you with space because the truth is in the ground.
The angle of the Earth doesn't change according to the seasons. It's its relative angle to sunlight does.
Those diagrams sure show they do.
No, they really don't.
They don't show that.
Yeah, they do. They actually show on the summer solstice.
Stiggy, bring one up,
Go ahead.
Stiggy.
Go
They're
ahead.
still
What'd you say?
pointed in the same direction. They're still oriented in the same direction to a point very far away.
Oh, even on the equinoxes.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes.
Look
Yes.
at the model.
Dude, you look at the model. Bring it up.
I have a model in my bedroom and looking at it right now.
Then put
I
your
have a
camera
model.
on it. Put your
I'm looking
camera on it. Put your camera on it.
No, my girlfriend's asleep and she's sick on the couch.
Okay. Well, can you bring up a
Then
picture?
stop talking about
Just
it.
screen share it. I can't screen share right now.
Can you
Have
bring
someone
up a
screen share.
picture? Can you bring
No.
up a picture of the situation that is causing you to have questions?
if you would just go to a professional Google site that shows the heliocentric model with the ellipsoid, and you will see.
It's a matter. Why can't you screen share, Stiggy?
Because I'm on my cellular phone.
He's talking quietly because his girlfriend is sick apparently and in bed.
Yes, I'm on my
like
patio
all the time.
Oh, that's baloney.
I don't know. I've never met him before.
Oh, he does.
I've talked to you, Brenda. Brenda, I've talked to you years ago.
I don't recall.
Nathan, who are the flat earthers on this panel?
Are you gonna ever sign in as Cricky?
Is it only me over here?
No,
I'm a geocentric.
Who are the other flat earthers on this panel?
I've just answered that question. Are you not able to hear me?
I can hear you, but go ahead.
Who are the other flat earthers? Are Free and Stiggy.
Yes, I'm a geocentric level earther for now.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, this sounds like bullshit to me.
Well, you can clean that bullshit up because I'm still a level earther. I don't like the NASA. I think they're weird. I think the space organization is very freaking bad, and it's funny, and they have bad actors. And
so they're paying for both sides of the argument now. We got the.
What are you talking about? Quit your paranoid side.
No, all he does is he comes in here and just attacks everyone for being a pet.
Oh yeah, your feelings are so hurt. NASA.
I have a very important question for the debate.
Nobody believes any of this crap.
Stiggy, do you have any intention on debating Cricky here in the future?
Is he here, Cricky?
No. Could you get him? I'd love to hear you debate Cricky.
Who's Cricky?
Somebody has to come in here and call y'all out.
All right, let's get serious. David has something to do here.
Yeah, David, I'm serious. David, I'm serious. Every elevation I see, the Earth looks flat. It really does. And it looks stationary. It looks stationary. It looks stationary.
But the thing is about that, it may look, but the sunrise, the sunset, the equinox, the eclipse, all say that it's not.
No, they don't say it. And notice how you just said the sunrise and the sunset. You notice how you just said sunrise and sunset, not the Earth spin and the Earth spin.
Well, that's just language.
Yeah, it's just language to describe an event.
Right. Ask a child that's never heard of the heliocentric model. What's going on with that sun? And they'll say the sun's moving.
Yeah, but children rarely have a complete picture of reality, do they? You know, that's why would you think that asking a child is a good way of getting a
getting
accurate?
Well, the best way to brainwash a child is to go in there and stick a ball in every room, and when they go into the kindergarten, they get that ball in there. You say you live on that spinning ball right there. Isn't that how they did it?
They did
it for 100 years like that. Isn't that how they did it for the last 100 years?
The school I went to had lots and lots of flat maps on the wall. Did your school have any of those?
The pull downs, yes.
Right. So was that indoctrination of flatness?
Absolutely.
It has to be.
Yes, it has to be.
Yep. Government psyop exposed.
Well, it's only indoctrination if they don't let you ask about where you live. It's like, wait, well, how does water stay like this? Gravity.
Like what?
I guess.
So what's your problem with gravity?
How about corporal punishment? Y'all, it sounds like y'all didn't get any corporal punishment when you were little kids.
I don't think
I got plenty of corporal punishment in the military.
David, why don't you make an argument to support your belief instead of just attacking?
I'm not attacking anybody. Y'all will sit over and talk this bull crap, and instead of getting on what the point is here.
Okay.
How do we prove we live on a ball on the ground?
You drive from Chicago to Chile.
Easy observations.
And how do you? Where are these observations at?
Wherever you are.
I described 3 of them: sunrise, sunset, the equinox. Here's a 4th one: solar and lunar eclipses. Here's the 5th one. Go to the south.
How about measurable curvature?
Hold on, David. Hold on. Let me finish.
How about measurable curvature?
Sure. How would you go about measuring it?
Hold on, Jeremy. Hold on. Because he wanted them. Let me give them to him.
They don't answer that question.
Let's start with your first one. Start with your first one. Sunrise and sunset.
Let me finish.
Just stay
Stop
with sunrise
being
and
rude.
sunset.
I'm not being rude to you.
We know this is a whole
finish.
setup deal here.
Come on,
but go
David,
ahead.
please, come on. Just
them. Let me finish.
David, let Pure Anarchy get his point. He's waited really patiently.
You wanted it. Let me finish. I'm not being rude to you. Do not disrespect me.
Okay, enough with the drama.
So, you wanted... How can we prove that we are on a spinning ball from the ground? Observations. 1, sunrise, sunset, the equinox, solar and lunar eclipses going to the south, the southern hemisphere, witnessing for yourself the south celestial pole.
That's all.
Those are 5. Those are 5 observations that you can make yourself.
And I could debunk it. I could debunk it in one sentence. It's
you
all
can't
in
spell
how,
debunk.
It's all in how far you can see. Is all you're doing. How do you measure it on the ground? How do you measure it on the ground? How many miles do you have to go to get to curvature?
Oh, really?
It starts at your feet.
It's true. It's true. He asked the question, how do you measure on the ground? And you mentioned sky things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, on the ground, you would get some geodetic surveying equipment, and you would use that to measure it.
Okay, so that had never been done, right? So we've already established that. The Earth is flat. We won this conversation. Hold on again. We beat y'all again. That's the way it is. Y'all don't even get it. You just admitted it again. You lost again.
How did we lose, David? You just
lost the argument again that it hasn't ever been done.
I know you've announced your victory, but can you explain to me
how boom is done?
David just ripped off his diaper, did the pee-pee dance, and they win.
Yeah, that's it. We got flat earthers took you again. I know they're gonna put up about 50 of these.
David,
I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna beat y'all every time.
David,
you haven't beat anybody ever at any point in time in history. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
David,
no, I'm not a masturbator like y'all.
In order for this victory to be meaningful, the rest of us are going to understand how it occurred. So what point is it that you made that you think is so killer that you're proclaiming victory? Because we all missed it.
You were over there saying that we got this survey equipment that we need to measure all this. Okay,
right.
Where's that survey?
So why does that mean the Earth's flat? Why is that?
What do you mean? Why does it mean it's flat? Water's always level. If Dale was here, he'd explain it to you. But
well, no. Well, I've spoken to Dale on occasion,
and he whoops you every time. But I'm not Dale. I really will get on you and beat you.
Well, perhaps you want to go and have a look at. I think it's debate number 11. I think it is. Might be 13, 11 or 13.
See?
And you'll see how Dell is able to defend his view, and he's totally incapable. And I'll ask him. I
beat you every time I come on here. So I'll
ask him. Well, you tell us you beat us, but you but then you have to explain to us how you did it. So what? And we're still working through your previous victory now, your previous proclaimed victory.
The one with the fishing line, right? We take the fishing line and we stretch it out. We wait to see how far you got to go to get to the curvature.
You can't do that.
Oh, they did a 20-mile rope, actually.
Yeah, that's what they told me last time. You can't measure the curvature from the ground. Yeah, we already heard that.
We did not tell you that. You are so wrong.
That's what y'all told me.
No,
that's what the ballers said. That was a baller's last.
No, we didn't. We were talking about how it was difficult to see from the ground. That was a completely different thing.
He misunderstands everything or intentionally misrepresents it conveniently.
Right. But it is interesting how you say, well, you don't see the curvature unless boats go over. And then when you say, oh, well, radar goes like 200 miles. Well, that's because it's following the curvature of Earth. You always have an answer.
Oh my God.
I know. And then I heard the other day, I heard this. I heard Voyager's radio wave beam is being pulled by Earth's gravity.
Wow.
I think Flat Earth Matt said that. He said, yeah, the gravity is pulling the Voyager's radio beam as well as Voyager from 11 billion miles and Voyager 2.
And we're talking about the shape of the Earth here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just weird.
I know. You're just saying off topic. We get it. We know what your game is. We know how you guys roll.
Oh, no, we can go back to the ground. I just
It's
know
a
that
parrot.
Pure loves talking about sky objects.
It's a parrot.
Yeah,
All right, so
he
what's your
wants to
issue
talk-
with measuring the
sunrises
curvature?
and sunsets? Do not disrespect
Yeah.
me.
What's your?
So
it's
your
a
hold on a
simple
minute.
way.
Just let's
Yep.
follow up on
Observations
Stiggy's
from the
point
ground.
here is Stiggy's point here is that because somebody said something which he doesn't accept that involves an object which is in space, therefore we cannot know anything about any objects in the sky. That seems to be the logic.
That's not the connection. No, you are in a maze.
What is it? What is the connection?
What is the
Stiggy?
connection?
Come on.
Oh, because I was connecting with the
Because
ground.
the phrase
how
you
they say
used was sky things.
Pure was mentioning how you can detect Earth as a ball from sunrises, sunsets, eclipses,
Yeah.
equinoxes. Yes,
Right.
but let's start with sunrises and sunsets. That's your
Are there
Go
first.
for it.
tankers?
Go
Are there
for it.
super tankers riding upside down?
Let's do it. Let's
That's his-
go with sunrise. What's your problem with sunrise?
Well, it's called a sunrise to me. So the first implication
Okay.
would be that the sun is rising.
Well,
Exactly.
then you don't know what
Jesus.
a sunrise is, and maybe you need to crack a book and find out what sunrise is.
So
was
don't
well
listen
put.
to you. Read a book that you know an author that wrote about sunrises.
Well, the reason it's called a sunrise is because it appears as though the sun rises above the horizon, something that is impossible on a flat Earth.
Right, and horizon comes from the meaning of horizontal.
No, I doubt that's where it comes from.
Oh,
But the point, I doubt. I'm just.
I don't
doubting.
think it does actually. I think I've looked up this before.
Yeah, but
Well,
the point,
yes.
the point is. the
Yeah,
point is
horizontal
that-
left to right.
that
Okay.
Many people in the past used to think that the sun rose above the disk of the Earth.
okay.
climbed
People
through the
still
sky,
believe that.
and then-
People
and then it
still
went-
believe this.
Yes,
It's
and
not.
then it went, and then it set in the west, and went through the underworld,
Oh,
and where it went through, depending on the myths,
uh-huh.
various things happened in the underworld, and then it would rise again the next day. Is
Yes.
that what you believe?
Oh, I don't know yet. I just.
Okay,
It's
so
very
my
interesting,
point.
but
My point with
I think the sun is moving. Oh, for sure.
Okay, but my point with the
think it could
sunrise
be?
and the sunset is on a flat plane. What we would expect to see is the sun not rising, but actually appearing from a point in the sky and growing in totality, which we do not see. We see
don't
the
think-
sun rise from the top to the bottom and
Well,
coming
that-
overhead, zenith,
yeah.
and then setting bottom to top.
Yeah, unless of course the sun is given birth to by nut every morning and then swallowed again by nut in the evening.
Right.
Well, and
That's
you're
also
not-
possible. You think that's a possibility, Stiggy?
The sun's
Oh, yes,
always lit. It never goes out and comes back on. So it's covered whatever path it can go on.
Yeah, I think because I've been flying a lot that it looks like the sun is continuously moving. Or it's so hard to tell sometimes. But seeing a sunset and sunrise while flying is very fantastic, and that's what makes me. That's what makes me think like.
Well, if it makes a circle in 24 hours and it's going 25,000 miles, it's going about
How does-
1,100 miles. It's
what-
going about 1,100 miles an hour. And they used to have these big jets that would, could go that fast, and but they decommissioned them, But
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You're talking about the Concorde?
yes, the Concorde could follow the sun around the world, but you never did see them do that,
Sure.
did you? Huh?
What are you talking about? People would see the sun rise again when they would take off from London and then go to New York.
Right. They would arrive before they took off in New York. They would arrive. The time in New York.
That would just depend on what the route is.
They would
But if
take
you
off
actually-
in the dark.
Well, they
They would
only
take
flew
off
from New
in the
York to
dark, and then they would pull the sun back up off the
Yeah, but
horizon.
how come you've never seen a jet follow the sun around the world? How about that? Let's go do that. Let's get a jet. They got the Concorde right now that they're taking. They're actually taking donations to bring the Concorde back, which could actually be something that would fly and follow the sun around the world, and you could actually document the whole thing.
Concorde
Well, they
can't
would do
fly
that-
for
they would do
24
that if they-
hours.
They would do that.
No,
if
but
they
it
had,
can land.
Oh, they have
No, it
solar
can't-
crafts.
They would do that if they had any interest at all in debunking flat earthers.
There
But
is
it's
no
a-
supersonic
Dave-
plane that you can
Dave,
fly
they
for
have-
24 hours.
No,
Dave,
but
they
you
have
said
solar crafts.
Supersonic plane.
that plane
Dave,
will out
they
that
have
plane will
solar
outrun
craft.
the sun.
Solar craft planes fly
Okay,
for
you
5
can.
years.
Okay,
Yeah, but
but the
solar
point.
craft planes are not supersonic, and you need a supersonic plane to
How do you know
fly.
they don't have? How do you know, man? How do you know? You don't know what NASA's got.
A supersonic plane could keep
They
up
have-
with the sun, and you could go and follow the sun all the way around the world and prove it
No,
just that
because
way.
there's no supersonic
The
plane that can
Concorde could
fly
do
for
it.
24 hours. The Concorde
No,
could
they
not
can
fly
land it.
for
They can
more
keep
than.
up with. They can keep up with the sun. I thought
It
they
doesn't
had jets
matter,
that-
but the time
How
for them
fast
to
is a jet?
hold
How
on,
fast is the
David,
fastest
David,
jet?
Listen,
David,
try and calm down and
somebody that
listen.
has flown in a whole lot of planes for the military. I've jumped out of airplanes, jets, helicopters, the whole 9 yards. The time it would take them for them to land, refuel, and take off with all the clearance, depending on where they are in the world, they would never be able to keep up with the rotation of the Earth and the sun.
You can't
Sorry,
refuel,
it just,
you can't refuel a plane in the air.
Yeah, but not at supersonic
they would have to slow.
speeds.
They would have to slow down so much.
Yeah, you're not going to be refueling at
do it
1,000 miles per hour.
Yes.
No, you slow down first, get your gas, and then
They don't like guys like me. I can
time
outthink them.
that
Don't
it
worry
would
about it.
take, even
Well,
the
you
time
haven't
that it would
out-
take
the military
to
offer.
mid-air
David, you
refuel.
just made a silly suggestion and then proclaimed you've outthought everyone.
The time
It's
that
a
it would take, because
sure.
I have done mid-air refuels when I went to Kazakhstan and on my way back from Afghanistan and Iraq. The time
been
it
there
would
too.
take them to refuel in a mid-air flight would actually slow them down so much to do it at a safe speed, they would still not keep up with the rotation of the Earth or the sun above it, as you guys claim.
And they're both their accelerometers are both adjusting for curvature while they're refueling in midair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
No,
in
no,
mind. Keep in mind, your average fighter jet interceptor can't fly more than 15-20 minutes supersonic before running out of fuel.
Are there crafts that can fly faster than Earth's rotation?
This was a civilian jet that did it.
That's a good question.
Yeah, this is the Concorde, which was specifically built for transatlantic supersonic travel, and even the Concorde could not sustain that speed, for more than 4 or 5 hours.
Okay,
Exactly. It landed. I think it went. How fast did it go? I think it was 1,300 miles an hour. And the sun goes around.
It
The
was
sun
Mach
goes
2, like
around the
12,
world.
1300.
Hey guys, this
Let's
is
get
an
back on
extremely
FE.
point here
The
on the
Concorde was going faster than the Earth's rotation?
Exactly.
This is a really silly argument because here's the thing. What you're discussing has nothing to do with proving whether it's the Earth rotating or the sun revolving around the Earth.
Right.
Can we move on to something
just
relevant?
And Concorde was retired years ago. So
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any
You're
difference.
saying a craft going faster than the Earth's rotation
Stiggy.
doesn't make any sensible
Stiggy.
questioning?
Stiggy. Chasing the sun does not prove whether the Earth is rotating or whether it's the sun moving
Okay.
around us.
So Pure shouldn't have said
Next
sunrise.
subject, please.
So
We've
Pure
been
should have
joined
said
by.
sunrise and
Sorry
sunset.
to interrupt. We've been joined by Epistemology for Truth. Could you just say a quick hello?
1,354 mile an hour.
Faster
1,300
than the speed of the sun.
Sunrise is not the same as chasing the sun around the world.
Brian Cox actually does this on a documentary. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can see him do it.
Yeah.
He gets in a fighter jet and chases the sun.
But he's really moving with the
Here's
Earth's
the
spin.
thing: if the sun is going around the flat disk Earth in a circle, there would never be a situation where you would see the sun rise due east, travel in a straight line up over your zenith, and then set due west, like you do on the equinox on the equator. But
When
that's
it's
exactly
high-
what we
when it-
see on
when
all the
it's-
flat Earth conceptions. That you would
When
see
it's
the
at
sun
high,
from the
when it's at high
northwest,
noon, when
or
it's at high
northeast to
noon
northwest.
over Dallas, Texas, say, okay, it's at high noon. You get in that jet, you take off, and I guarantee you stay right underneath it the whole way, all the way around the world, and that sun gun's gonna be.
Well, you know what else you could do? You could just have observers. You could have
Put a level
observers.
plane, it'll say level the whole way.
You could have observers all around the
Yeah,
Earth that's
you're
in
right.
your proposed flight path. Just take careful notes and do the same exact test without having to use the jet. You would solve this. You would see the same exact observation.
And for what purpose?
Okay, so we can all
Why
agree
do, you
that
need, why do you need to chase it in a jet? You could just have people along the path take notes.
The whole point of this is not about whether you can chase the sun or not. It's about what sunrise and sunset. Sun rising from below the horizon, sun setting below the horizon. It's about what
you guys
that
don't understand
tells you.
perspective, so
It's about what that tells
Can you explain to me how the sun can rise due east, go straight up, straight overhead, and rise due west if it's traveling in a circle over the flat disk of the Earth? Please explain that to me.
I already nailed free-minded with that this morning. It blew his free mind.
Shit,
he can't explain it.
Kurt, just be quiet, please.
He's had all day. He's had all day.
Be quiet. Hey, first of all, the sky. I mean, if I wanted to see how level my kitchen is, would I be discussing the lights?
You don't even know.
Is there any situation in reality
Did you just hear what I
in your
said?
life? Is there any situation in your life where the movement of the ceiling above you doesn't correspond to movement on the ground?
What does that have to do with anything?
Outside of walking on a treadmill.
My point is, let's stick to the ground. That's what we're trying to.
The point is, I don't
debating over the
understand
ground.
the point of reference.
The ground we live on. Is it there?
The sky is a point of reference.
Or is it not there?
Got to draw a stop
What
to this.
does
We
the sun
can't
do
hear
with
any
that?
of you. Nobody can hear what's being said. Try to just go one at a time. But there's no time restraints. Just take your time.
2 hours.
So let's get back, because we were talking about the sunrise, sunset, and equinox. We moved past the sunrise and sunset.
Because that does not approve.
Equinox.
That's not a proof, so we know that.
Yes, it is a proof, because because what we see from the equinox does not correspond with the flat Earth and the movement of the sun.
Well, you're not also incorporating the air. You don't know where the sun really is.
Yes, we do. We know that on the equinox, twice a year, the sun rises due east, and if you're on the equator, it rises due east for everybody, goes straight overhead, zenith.
That's because everybody's looking at the equator on the equinox.
West.
Everybody's looking towards the equator.
That's an absolute lie, and I already busted you
No,
on
it's
that
not.
this morning too.
No, it is
Absolute
not.
lie. Please refrain from repeating
That's
the
why.
bunk
That's why we
lies.
always. That's why I tell me, man. Because you guys are intellectually dishonest.
Hold on. Actually, a
It's
good
like-
buddy of mine named Red's Rhetoric actually filmed the equinox last year, and he was not looking due south to the equator. He was actually looking due east and filmed the sunrise on the equinox due east from Central Florida.
Reds is great. He has some great footage of rocket launches.
Rest is a liar.
No, he's not.
No.
Anyway,
That's just-
why are we talking
he's
about
dirty.
the sky? We're supposed to be talking
You
about the
should be
earth.
in the brig. You
Because
should
these
be
are
in the brig.
observations that you are making from the Earth.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about
why is the
Earth.
sky? Why can
We
you
don't
not
even
use
know
the
what the
sky
sun
as a
is.
reference point?
We don't even know what the sun is. So
Yes,
let's
we
talk
do.
about the earth.
Who
about
cares
that?
what the sun is?
We do. We actually, science does know what the sun is.
Let's talk about
Whether
the
you
map.
accept
How every
whether or
map-
not you would.
how about every map on the internet and every book is wrong? Why don't you talk about that? How all the maps that you look up that none of them are real.
Do
How do you know?
you understand what the problem is?
Because all you got to do is Google map of the Earth and look at it. America fits in the top of Africa. Okay,
They do.
every map that you see shows America big.
But that's
There's not
because
even-
they're projection.
they don't
two-dimensional
show anything in
projection.
actual size. There's not an actual projection of size on all these maps. You don't see the actual size of each continent in every way. No, you don't. There's not one map that you can find. Pull it up.
They're
Let's see it.
distorted.
Let's see
Well,
it.
actually, here I'm going to.
Let's see your. Let's see the globe map. Let's see your globe map. I want to see your globe map. Show me a globe map that's correct. Show me one. You don't have
can't.
one.
A globe.
Actually, yes,
That's
we do.
right.
A globe
The
map.
military
A globe
uses them.
map.
David,
Hold on.
a
A
globe.
globe enough for educational use.
You cannot
Globe.
turn a 3D object like the globe into a 2D object without distorting it. You're
Show me
done.
one that's halfway
Next
correct.
argument.
Show me half the ball.
Actually,
Show me-
one that
Next
every
argument.
military uses.
Even half the globe is still going to be distorted if you try to put it onto a 2D image. You can't do it. Unpeel an orange and flatten it out and have none of the orange peel torn apart.
They don't even have any of the continents the right size, man. There ain't nothing the
Did you
right
hear
size.
what I
Everything
just
is
said,
off.
What about the flat Earth map? What about the flat Earth map where Australia
It's
is
from
like twice the
1898.
size of
It's
North
from
America?
1898. It's the
Durban
closest
run.
thing we got civilian-wise for
David,
all of us to look
David.
at.
David,
Durban
actually,
run.
you can get any topographical map from the military, the same one that the military uses, and they are correct up to 10 meters.
Yeah.
Because I actually was able to.
I believe it. I agree with you. They do have that ability.
Navigate my platoon through North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Iraq, Afghanistan, and get my entire platoon within a 10-meter radius.
See, I'm an independent civilian now. Okay, I can think for myself, and I don't. These talking points that you guys talk about, none of them got anything to do with the reality of the situation.
David,
okay,
David, thinking independently requires the ability to think.
The world's military uses the same.
They don't control me. They don't control me. I'm an American citizen. I'm free to do whatever I want to do and think how I want to think. And that's what the problem is here. Everybody out here, you need to think for yourself. Okay, don't listen to what the other people say. Unless you figure stuff out yourself, don't believe what somebody else tells you.
You're not thinking.
Okay, we've been joined by Paper Explainer. Hello to you. Good to have you here.
I can look at a map. I can go on Google and I can search Google Maps, and I go to a map of the world, and I can tell that they're all wrong.
Really? Have you been to those places and land nav those places?
No, but I know I can just tell by the pictures that they show you, man. All the maps are wrong.
Yeah, David. Hey, David. That they're wrong. That's how you know.
No, David. David, you can actually call. David, you can call the USGS and you can talk to them about how they make their maps. It is fascinating. I talked to a woman for a while, and she said we don't actually have an accurate map to date, and they're still continuously evaluating them, and it's an ongoing evolution. It's very interesting. And they said that, I asked them, well, if USGS, that's the US people doing the maps, how do you guys do your maps? And they said high altitude crafts. They never mentioned satellites once. And I also said, how do the other continents get them? And they said, well, they have their own people doing it, but majority is high altitude crafts.
Yeah.
So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to do a quick link while these guys have a little talk from Stiggy about maps. If you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate to express your views on the shape of the Earth, simply click on the link in the info box below this video. Make sure to mute your watch page before you click on that link. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. Number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try and rejoin using sock accounts. If you have not done so already, please share the show on social media, and as I say, if you've not subscribed to the channel already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. There is about an hour left on this broadcast.
Well, I was taught that about distortions in projection.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, our society or our class wasn't.
And all of us know about it, but apparently none of us were taught about it. Apparently this is some
right. And you know what gets left out the most is Antarctica. Antarctica is not on people's radar.
Nobody lives there.
And but still, why wouldn't they discuss this place after what's his name if he did go there?
What do you mean? Antarctica?
How come we can't go there
all the time?
Yeah,
you can go there.
You can.
No, we can go to certain parts.
Yeah, of course
you can go to every part.
But why? Why is that place so mysterious? Seriously.
It's not mysterious.
Well, because you guys have made it mysterious.
No, it's always been mysterious.
You tell this story about how no one can go there because of
did the Nazis do experiments there, or is that a myth?
Let me finish. You tell this story about how no one can go there because of the Antarctic Treaty. None of you have read the Antarctic Treaty. It says it makes no, it doesn't talk about people going there at all. It's a treaty between nations. It deals with things that entire nations deal with, like fishing and
that's
military installations.
Don't you guys understand? I know. Let me say something.
You guys just made that up.
Sunrise and sunsets fishing
over the internet.
America was only discovered 200 years ago, and the combustion engine was only just a little over 100 years ago. And steam powered was just a few years before that. How do you know that there wasn't other continents after they got the steam engine going and the combustion engine, and that they found them and they didn't say anything to anybody? Huh?
I think America.
What do you think?
They
What do you
did
think?
America was discovered
They
more
came
than
over here and
200
look what they did to the United States. It's a
Remedial
beautiful place.
math lessons are in order
And
for
South
David
America.
Blackstone.
What if there are UFOs?
Yeah, of course it is.
What if there's UFOs? What if there's magic?
No, I didn't say anything about
imagine.
UFOs. I didn't say anything about stuff coming from outer space. You guys like to always go back to outer space. I'm out on outer space. Okay, let's talk about reality. What's here on the ground?
Aliens. There could be
Right.
aliens.
Let's talk about the fact that
Bigfoot was. That's how Bigfoot gets here. He walks
But
up from down there. Huh?
David, you can use aliens. You can
there's a
use
whole-
aliens because some of these
There's a
people
whole.
believe
How do
that
you know
there's
there's not a
aliens.
whole civilization of Bigfoots down there on one of these continents that they never told you about? Huh?
We could be.
They walk up here. Think how far a Bigfoot can walk in a lifetime. Say a Bigfoot could live to be 100 years old like a human being, right? And how far could a Bigfoot walk, especially like a 9-foot or 10-foot one? I mean, they could walk thousands of miles in 20
Well, how
years.
much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You like to get off in these crazy stories, but
no, because it's nonsense. You're trying to hypothesize on the capabilities of a fucking
That's where they
Bigfoot.
say Hitler went. He went down there to South America, down there past Antarctica. That's what you don't think those Germans? They had all these big boats back then, man. They were just coming on to the industrial age. They were figuring out
good fishing.
Kind of strange though that in none of the Nazi stuff they said the Earth is flat though, right? There's like no Nazi writings anywhere that the Earth.
What do you think?
Flat.
And they were the biggest propagandists of all. So they're probably the one that put us on the ball, so we can go ahead and come find their ass.
Oh yeah, sure.
Everybody knows that the Nazis
Wow.
invented the UFOs,
Brilliant.
and then they have the secret base inside the Hollow Earth.
The Nazis were in ancient Greece.
No, the Nazi salute is a flat Earth symbol.
Yeah, sure it is.
No, it actually is.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
From ancient Rome.
There's no Nazis in ancient Greece when they came up with the sphere.
We've gone way off track at this point.
Right.
As always,
Let's connect it back.
design.
NASA wouldn't be around if the Nazis weren't around. NASA's proving that we live on a globe. Most people think we live on a globe because of NASA.
Well, why
And how
just
do we prove it
NASA?
on
What
the
about
ground?
what
How do
about
we prove it on the
JAXA?
ground?
What about ESA? Right? What about the Russian Space Federation?
They're all connected.
They're all connected.
It's all
ESA doesn't even
conspiracy,
believe in
man.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to connect them.
It's called power.
Why are you having such a hard time?
Over the labor, man. We all go to work all day to pay in this to these governments. Okay, get off. You got to understand. I'm one of these guys that pay these guys a lot of money over my years. I know how much money, how much labor I give away just to prop this whole deal up.
Well, why doesn't North Korea prove the flat Earth just to get in our under the skin of the Illuminati?
So what news agency is going to report that, huh?
The news agencies are
Hey,
in on it. They're all in on it.
Yeah, well,
It's all part of the conspiracy.
That's why they have all you government guys working over here on YouTube.
Don't forget.
We got the government people over here debating flat earthers and getting paid. So hell with you.
You have
Why
no
is this
evidence
better?
that we're getting paid.
It's
Support that statement, David. How do you know we're getting paid?
I've already
it's not gonna
heard
happen.
like 9 people on here tell me they're in the military. So
He's
I don't
not-
even want to hear it.
So what?
This
Right?
guy's
No,
not
actually,
So what?
gonna
I'm a civilian now, so I can say whatever I want.
Oh,
to.
so
It's
you were
okay.
in the military. Should we be suspicious of you?
Absolutely.
He's a plant.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
highly
a-
suspect.
It's okay.
I'm a plant because I come up with all these questions you can't answer. Yeah, sure, I'm a plant when I come up with everything you can't answer.
Hey,
Sure,
David.
I
You
am.
haven't come up with
David,
anything we can't answer.
David, let me
Just
correct
keep
you on one thing.
Every single thing I come up with, you can't answer.
David, let me correct you on one thing real quick. Hold on. No, you haven't heard 9 people say that they were in the military. You've only heard 1, and that was me.
No,
And America was not discovered 200 years ago. I should probably.
I said
point that out.
it's like 250 now, but the point being is it ain't been very long. There's people.
You
I was
said
when I was a
discovered,
kid.
David.
When I
Stop
was
it.
when I was a kid, I knew people that before cars were invented. You know what I'm getting at? So I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, they
You know,
suppress
people
energy
try to act
too.
like this.
Somebody-
People
They
try to
suppress
act like
energy.
You want to hear.
people try to act like this, like all this electronics and all this stuff's been around forever. But people had to walk or ride in with using wind, not very long ago. So these questions that are being asked now are just because we can all talk to each other, and that's what flat earthers have done. They've went out here and they're talking to each other and they're putting their ideas together, and you can't stop it. You could put all these crazy people you want on here, and do what you want to and get the people in the mental institution to come on here and debate this stuff. But flat Earth is going to gain speed. So you just do whatever you want to do.
That's what I keep telling them. I keep telling them
Is this a
that
pep
stay
rally?
online. Stay online.
Is this a
be
pep rally
distracted.
or a debate?
I think it seems to be a pep rally.
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
the flat earthers are always.
I think eventually you'll run out of people that have got such a dark view of the world that they will believe this. And
no, it's because NASA screws it for you. Seriously, NASA comes out
And
with
water
the
is always level.
dumbest
See,
material.
They don't,
You
if
don't
you
know
don't
what that
read
means,
through it, you
David.
don't really, and you just believe the memes, and you don't really bother to look into things. But you know, if you actually do look into these things, and you do it without a confirmation bias, or at least without a flat Earth one, then you know there are good explanations for things.
Why do they call them
Things that
airplanes?
you guys pretend there aren't.
Why do they call them airplanes, and why do they call it sea level?
Is there any way we can do something about this kind of Gish Gallop crap?
I don't know. It's just silly, isn't it?
Well, yeah, this guy's an absolute moron. That's all he's here for. This flat
he
Earth
makes good
debate is like
points.
a training exercise for propaganda.
No.
Well, hang on. By the way, the word horizon is from the Greek horos, meaning boundary, a landmark, or marking stones.
Yeah, kind of like limiting, as in a
I
circle.
just thought I'd throw that one in there.
Yeah.
Well,
And
coming from our point of view, you have to understand when they say, "Well, you can't see a curve because you have to go high." Well, how high? Well, you don't really have an answer for that. It's kind of vague. But then you say
We
boats
do have
disappear.
answers for that.
No,
And
no,
the
they're
answer
vague.
is,
You're very
you're
vague.
talking
though.
about different curvature.
Well, yeah,
You're
but I
talking about
think the
different
world that we live in is vague in that sense, isn't it? Because
Right.
okay, yes, you could go up high, but what if it's a foggy day? You know, and the higher you go, the more
Sure,
chance
exactly.
there is of it being foggy. And then if it isn't a foggy day, if it's a clear day, you really need to be looking over water. Well, there aren't that many mountain ranges near, where water's visible. I mean, I guess there are, plenty, but it's still limiting in some respects. And then, you've got to have a clear view of that water and so on and so forth. And so, our opportunities are limited.
But I will say all the high altitude balloons, including Rob Skiba's own balloons, have shown curvature.
Right.
That's true.
See, I disagree, though. I think it could be other factors.
No.
Why not, though?
It could be.
Because we have, most people, well, not most people, but a lot of people have a very good idea of how optics work. And especially, claim fisheye lenses, we know that, yes, you get distortions above the center of frame, but every image that you take from every high altitude balloon that has been in center of frame clearly shows the curvature.
So would you say hold on, Brenda, one sec, and I will let you in, I promise. Would you say to go to Rob Skiba's video for curvature instead of Red's Rhetoric, like Boats on the Horizon video?
Sure, because Rob Skiba's video shows curvature. Slice Barkeen did multiple series on that.
Yep.
So the boats going over the horizon is not due to curvature.
Yes, it is.
No, it is. It is. But we're talking about high altitude balloons.
We're altitude balloons.
This is a different axis of curvature, by the way.
See, but they have two problems here. They say we're spinning and we're on a ball.
We have no problems.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is the balloon is rising up on a spinning ball.
Yeah, you're spinning and you're spinning. You're going 1,024 miles an hour plus.
No, you're actually rotating at 0.000694 RPMs.
Absolutely juvenile.
That is the
same dirty diapers after debate. Same dirty diapers.
No, because the balloon goes up for hours and sometimes stay aloft for hours, and there's still no
step
affection.
Up your argument.
No. Like there's balloons that have been up there for days, and there's nothing. It still comes back in the same position where it left.
What do you mean there's
It would be affected. Why isn't it affected?
It's affected by the winds aloft. Why would it be? Why would the balloon suddenly stop spinning with the Earth? What force is being imparted on the balloon that would make it suddenly stop spinning with the rotation of the Earth?
Well, what is wind and what is air?
What is table? What is chair? I don't know. What are these?
That's a great rhyme, but it's not a good analogy.
It is.
Where am
How,
I?
how does the air move with the ground?
That is the
Who's
best
the
answer
president?
I've ever
Who's the
heard.
president of the United
right?
States?
Like
I
Y'all
don't
show
know.
an experiment showing that.
Answers. They don't know. They can't answer none of that.
Well, if you think
That's
about
what
it,
we
if
got to
you,
answer.
hang on, if you stand by the side of a road and a car drives past, you feel the wind from it, right?
Well, I feel the air moving.
Yeah, you feel the air moving. Now, how does that happen if the air molecules don't have any friction?
Well, it's just like the Concorde jet. That's what they say. That thing become red hot as it's flying because it's going supersonic speed. The outside skin of that Concorde jet, it gets so hot because it's going so fast as the friction of the air against the.
Right.
And air has friction just like everything else. And so when when the car goes past, if there was no friction, the air wouldn't move. Just a bit near the car.
When you run your hand through a tub full of water.
The question
Stick your
here
hand
is,
out the
why
window
is
when you're going
David
down the road.
making this argument that his own beliefs? Does he even realize, is he just saying anything that pops into his mind?
No, I'm
without
telling the
regard?
truth about what the matter is. See, that's the problem with y'all. Y'all can't admit when you don't know the
Dude.
answer. You always think you
Dude,
know the answer to
okay,
all these
so-
questions, but you don't know the answers to all the questions, and that's the
David,
whole point here.
David,
That's why we have the debate.
David, and
We do, we know
was
everything.
provided whether or not you accept.
Yeah, sure you
hold
do.
on, David, an answer was provided, a valid and logical answer was provided by Jeremy. Now, whether or not you accept the answer, that is totally up to you. But that does not invalidate the answer that was given.
Have you ever
But it
got up
doesn't
in the
mean we're
morning
crazy.
and there's frost on the ground? Okay, when the steam comes up, it's just like fog. Okay, and it's sitting there on the ground. How come that fog isn't moving with the earth? You know, you want
It
to
is
say
moving
this
with
and
the
that.
earth.
It is moving.
Gravity.
Oh, it is moving.
Gravity.
Oh
It's
my
gravity.
God.
Here we go
No,
with the gravity
it
again.
actually is moving. I've actually
Holy.
watched out in East New Mexico where I was working. We actually had a very foggy day, and you could watch the fog rolling across the job site. So actually, yeah, you can.
So what does that mean?
Yep, I know.
It's spinning. It's spinning with the Earth, man, because the Earth's spinning faster than the supersonic
Of course,
speed.
it's spinning. Of course, it's spinning with the Earth. Why would it not be spinning with the Earth?
Can they show an experiment
Please
where the ground and the air move together in perfect sync? Is there an experiment that shows that?
Yeah, from every elevation
Should be
to the
able-
Carmen,
sure.
to the Carmen
If you-
line.
Step
Should be able to show
outside
that
with
experiment.
no wind
Yeah.
speed. Step outside with no wind, you moron.
Yep, the
We're
air
not.
from-
We're not.
from the-
We're talking. We're not calling each other names. Let's just discuss this like adults, if you can.
Well,
Uh,
the reason
might be
an
kinda hard for
adult
you.
wouldn't have said what you just said.
What, that the ground and the air move together? Can you show me an experiment where the ground and the air move together?
Well, why do you
I
think
just
that
did.
why do you think that the air wouldn't move with the ground? Why shouldn't it move?
Because clouds
That's
go
gonna
every
result
direction.
in
It doesn't matter
zero
what
wind
you can get up.
speed.
The wind blows east, and the wind blows west, north, south. It depends on
And the
which
wind
way
is
the wind's
calm.
blowing.
And the wind is calm. And when the wind is
Well,
calm,
the
not
clouds
moving
ain't gonna
relative to
move.
the
They
earth,
gonna
it is
move. They
moving
gonna
with
Hold on.
the
I
earth.
got a good.
That's why.
I got a good one here for free.
Yeah.
Why is it that in baseball they have to spin the ball in order to make it follow a curved path?
The Magnus effect.
Yes. Stiggy is perfectly accurate here. It's the Magnus effect. And how does the Magnus effect work? It's because the air molecules interact with the surface of the ball, especially the stitching, which is the texture on the ball. And it creates essentially a spinning vortex around the ball. As the ball spins in the air, it creates a vortex of spinning air around the ball, which produces the Magnus effect that gives a curveball its curve.
Yeah, it depends on if you're left-handed or right-handed. And you can throw it either way.
No, but
You
but
know,
that right there,
it doesn't
that right
matter.
there is your experiment of the fact that the air will follow a moving surface.
Yeah. So what he's saying is the Earth is in a vacuum of air.
No.
Because,
oh my God.
Well,
That's
because
ridiculous.
you just said.
No, he didn't say
You're
anything.
disqualified, Stiggy.
Well, that's
Get
what
out
your
of here,
analogy
Christy.
is representing.
Go
Is
away.
that the baseball
He
is
didn't say anything like that.
He's
Okay,
giving
you're
an
s-
example of air moving with an object.
That's a bad example.
No. He's giving an example of an object. He's giving an example of an object.
The flat
moving
earthers
in
are
air.
whooping up on y'all tonight.
Yeah,
Why?
Keep
Why would
shaking
the
your
air
pom-poms,
stick? Why would the
cheerleader
air
boy.
stick with the motion of the ball, but not of a baseball, but not stick to the surface of the Earth? Why would those two things be different?
I think you're applying an object moving in a medium.
How far?
Yeah.
How far? How do you measure the curvature on the ground?
Okay, we're on to another question. We're on to another question.
No, you
No,
just
we're
applied
on to David's only question.
It was a terrible analogy.
Endlessly repeat, even though it's malformed and has been answered.
How can you measure a truck when it's driving from Chicago to Chile if the sea is level?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Can you answer that?
Answer the question.
I can answer that question. I can answer that question. I can answer that question. It's just like he was talking about that level. What was that level? He was talking about the other night. You just go look forward and backwards. Where is level? How many miles do you have to go where you have to prove level?
I should have known.
That's not a well-formed question.
How many miles do you have to go in a row to find the curvature of the Earth?
That is not a well-formed question.
Okay, if I go, there's a curvature of the Earth, correct?
Yeah.
David, let me try and explain it to you this way. The
Earth has a curvature. Just let me ask that question.
Okay.
The Earth has a curvature. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How many times do we need to say yes?
Okay, where's it at?
Everywhere.
All around the Earth. All the way around.
It should be measurable, right?
Where
it should be measurable. Is it really?
It's not only measurable, it's been measured.
David.
Okay, where's that proof at?
David.
There wouldn't be any flat earthers. There wouldn't be any flat earthers out here if that was true.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy in one of the other chats
on YouTube, right, with a satellite photo of it.
Who set up? Nope, he set up an experiment on the lake in front of his house, on a frozen lake, where he drilled holes into the ice and measured the level of the water up to various sticks, and he sighted across them, and he measured the curvature of the Earth. Now, he invited the whole flat Earth community to come and observe the experiment. He even said,
we want to see. I've never seen that. Let's see it. Pull it up now, Nathan. This guy's got all the
measured
proof.
Frozen water in a lake.
Hey, that's pretty good to me. I haven't seen that. Let's see that.
No.
What's your problem with it?
They lie a lot, man. That ain't true.
What's your problem with it?
They'd be out there at the salt flats doing it. How come nobody's doing it out at the salt flats?
The measurements were taken from the water level, as you guys, always say.
Because water is always level. He drilled a hole in the ice till he hit the water.
All the measurements were taken from water level.
Well, let's see it. Let's see it.
They don't have it.
They don't want to talk about the salt flats though.
They don't have the one with the ice being uneven. Let's see that. How many miles is that?
We're telling you that.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing.
The video is not finished yet.
The video, we got videos from outer space also.
There will be video of the curvature over the lake, yes.
And it curves according to 8 inches square per mile.
Very close, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. See?
Okay.
We backed him into a corner now. Nathan, it's about time to end this thing. We whooping up on him too bad. We got him in a corner over here. Rocky's got him down. We're gonna knock him out over here.
Okay. Yeah. Keep coloring in your coloring book, David. Very nice.
So tell me what your problem is with geodetic surveying. What's your problem with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't plane surveyors assume the Earth is flat for 160 miles?
Mark Sargent's had plenty of...
Let's talk about geodetic surveying.
You never heard Mark Sargent, all those people that come over there? He had the surveyor on there, so there's no curvature. They account for no curvature when they survey any piece of land, and this guy was...
They're not going to, are they? Because
you can call geodetic
they're dealing with the topography of the land, which is going to be it's going to be much greater variation in the level.
We're only talking about 12,000 miles, man. North America to South America.
No,
North America to South
miles. What building has been built over 12,000 miles? Because we're talking about today. I mean,
see, you got to understand. I'm
buildings.
A truck driver. I know how far.
Buildings are tens of feet across, aren't they? Or maybe 100, few hundred feet across. I mean, and you stick them on a piece of land that's bumpy, and you have to level the land.
That's
so
why.
So that variation in the land, those bumps in the land, are always going to be much, much greater than any curvature of the Earth. And so you don't have to deal with curvature of the Earth because you're already dealing with a much greater problem, if you like, of just the topography of the land.
That's why you do it on the. That's why you do it in Brazil. That's what the whole point here is, that this thing hadn't been proven one way or the other, and there has to be something that has to be done here to prove this thing one way or the other. Where these arguments stop, okay? Because you guys, there's no way of convincing you either
what
way
has
or
to
another.
be done, I can tell you, David, what has to be done is you guys have to stop this ludicrous, absurd confirmation bias.
No, what I want you to, what the ballers to do is to prove we live on a ball, and you can't do it. You can't prove we live on a ball.
And then you will see, there's plenty of evidence out there to support.
There's no
this.
evidence except from outer space.
And you accept loads of things, David, without evidencing them for yourself. For instance, I'm willing to bet that you accept the fact that Tahiti exists, but you've probably never been there. I'm taking a gamble here because obviously I need to pick a location.
David probably drove a truck there.
But you probably accept it exists, and you're reasonable to do that because there's plenty of evidence to support the fact that
I know what the argument is here, and what we're doing is flat earthers are arguing globe heads or whatever you want to ballers to find where is the curvature. That's what the argument is here. Okay. And
okay, guys. I found. Let me interrupt you guys. I found the section where George went on ED and he showed the photographs and his experiment and all this stuff.
Okay, let's see.
If someone wants to share that link, we can quickly go through that and look at some of the things he did. And by the way, George is an engineer. He's a professional engineer. He lists on his Google Plus page his credentials, where he graduated, his diploma, all the things that these flat earthers that claim to have engineering backgrounds never do.
Is it okay if I share this, Nathan? I don't think he's with us.
Yeah, you can share whatever you like.
Nathan's babysitting.
I've got to pick the right window here. I'm going to do the... don't present me then. Oh, no, you should. It doesn't matter, does it? Here. Right, hang on. Where's it gone? Oh, God.
There we go. The video's unavailable.
Right, there we go.
We've also been joined by Sky-Fi, Bry. So just want to say a quick hello.
Hello, Nathan, and everyone else on the channel and people in the chat. Hello,
Sky.
Good to have you here.
Right, do you want to talk? Can you see this epistemology?
Yeah, I can see it. Rather than listening to all the commentary because it's rather long here, if you can fast forward a little bit through the various shots where he shows stills of things he's taken pictures of.
Right.
You can see this is where he has. Hold on a second, honey. You can see that this is where he has an auto level setup, which is basically nothing more than essentially a small telescope on a platform that's perfectly leveled. In fact, there's a whole lens in there that always finds its level, so to speak, so that it always will show a perfectly level line tangential to the Earth.
So why are we just bringing this up now?
Daddy. Because you asked.
There we go.
Okay, let's hold on. Let me look through the thing here.
We've also been joined by Metal Slugs Master. Can you say a quick hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Slug. Thanks for
Are
being
my
here.
levels okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
It's been a very, very long time since I've joined a hangout, so I'm wondering if my levels are okay and all that.
Yep, sounding great. Thanks for being here.
Great.
Excuse me, at least.
Give me just a sec
Okay, so
here.
if we can go to 650-50, you can see where he created these targets on the lake. Yep. So you can see there. These are the targets basically that. These are the targets that he put into the ice, and what he does is right next to the target, he drills a hole, and he measures from the center of the two triangles where they meet to the surface of the lake where the actual water is. Hello?
Right. We're getting a lot of background noise here. I can hear.
Oh, is that me?
I can hear all sorts.
Yeah, that's me. I'm doing dishes right now. Sorry. I will try to mute. Hold on. Give me a sec here.
I think in reality, we never discovered the truth if it's flat or a bore.
This is how he leveled it. I think we're showing right now, Sky, how you can.
Yeah, I'm looking, mate.
See the lake water coming up through the ice.
Jeremy, would you agree water is level?
Hey, Brian, they're trying to do a presentation at the moment on that very subject. Would you mind if he goes through it?
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, are you still seeing this epistemology?
It's all going out to the audience. Everyone can see. If you're wanting to watch it on the panel, just click on Jeremy and it will show his screen locally.
Yeah, and I wish George was in here to talk about this experiment. This was his experiment that he spent a lot of time doing. But basically, you can see there he's shooting a tangent. And I'm trying to remember, do you guys remember, did he set them all at the same height, or did he play with the heights to get them all level? I think what he did is he set the pylons all to where they will look all level in the auto level, and then he measured from that point to the surface of the water, I think is how he did it. But I don't remember exactly. He was basically constantly going out and adjusting these pylons, I believe, to get them all to look level in the auto level, so that all the 3 points that he had I think he had one at 1 mile, one at like 1.5 miles, and one at 2 miles, and then once he got them all at the same level in the auto level, so in other words, where they all lined up, the ones in the distance lined up with the ones in the foreground, he would go and then measure the distance from the target to the actual water via the hole that you guys saw drilled in there.
Right.
In that way, he was able to very precisely measure how much the Earth is curving by
how much was it curving? Getting
all the targets. I want to say he got very, very close to the 8 inches per mile.
Okay, I just would like to see that. See the data on.
And here's the thing: he asked the whole. He had been planning this and bought equipment for it. He even asked for help from the flat Earth community. He was asking for months for someone to come out when he did this observation from the flat Earth community to corroborate the evidence, and nobody came.
Including and Globebusters. They were invited to come out.
Yep. And here's the thing: you never see flat earthers do experiments like this. They never go out and do something as detailed and trying to be as accurate as possible. Purchasing an auto level that could measure to within, I believe his was 2 arc seconds of accuracy.
Yeah, he spent a fair amount of money and a whole lot of time going through all of this and being extremely thorough, taking temperature readings to calculate for refraction and all kinds of things. I mean, it was a very, very detailed, involved test.
A glass of water. A glass of water.
David, shut your mouth. Don't be stupid right now. We're talking serious.
I'm not being stupid. I'm just making a comment. A glass of water is level. A bathtub is level. A swimming pool is level.
I told you not to be stupid. Listen.
A lake is level. An ocean is level.
The lake, it's not flat, David. Jeremy, take it, please, before I lose my mind.
Sorry, I was just getting a drink. So.
But anyway, if you guys want to. Someone wants to link it in the chat, in the main chat, and then people can watch.
That's what I was about to ask. If I can get the link to it.
Well, I already linked it in the side chat there at the seconds where George is talking, and you can listen to like a 1 hour presentation where he goes through and explains exactly what he did, all the photographs that he goes through. I'm just giving you guys the cliff notes that, hey, someone measured water, and water is not always flat. That's something the flat earthers will
I
repeat,
appreciate it.
but
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
It's a matter of enough distance to be able to measure the difference. Now, David, you said lakes are flat. What evidence do you have for that, please?
Because my glass of water, my beer is level, my glass of water is level, my sink that I wash my dishes in are level. That guy's washing his dishes. Tell me to go in there and just stand still and just look at it. It's level. And tell him to go out to look at his
Disciple.
David,
Del Disciple, please stop.
David, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You just did.
Okay. How flat of level do you think the water in a glass of water is going to be on a curvature of 25,000 miles in diameter?
The same as it would be on a spirit level that you measure a board that you put on your house.
Okay, so a spirit level that you put on the board of your house, how do you think that's going to deviate on a curvature that is 25,000 miles in diameter?
That's what we're saying. There is no curvature because you can't show any curvature. You can't take. No, you cannot show any curvature. You can show me a video of a guy with frozen ice, but that's not actual water. Okay, water is always level.
Are you expecting to see curvature in a spirit level?
Man, all I want to know is how many miles we got to go to get to that first inch of drop. I don't care if it's a half inch. You show me where a half inch of drop is. This thing doesn't show anything. You just take a swimming pool. I don't care the longest swimming pool you want and show me where the curvature's at, and I'll believe that we live on a ball, okay? Water does not curve.
Okay.
This experiment.
When you say water doesn't curve, who told you that?
I could look at. I could go in my bathroom and take a bath and look at that. What are you crazy?
No, but who told you that water is always level?
No, nobody told me anything. I can see it from my own two eyes.
Yeah, you can see it's level on a.
What about the Bedford level experiment?
Yeah. Bedford level experiment was debunked multiple times.
That was debunked.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was shown to be completely false. And when it was tested afterwards with levels above the water level, it was shown to be completely false.
Can I see that? Can I see that footage? Do they have that?
Well, read the article. Look it up.
It was in the 1800s, G.
Okay.
It's not on you.
What I'm saying. What I'm trying to say.
Look it up.
Well, if it's not on YouTube, it can't be true.
What I'm trying to say is, if you let's take a 400-meter athletics track, okay, which is circular. Now you zoom in on 2 millimeters of that track, okay. Do you think that line will look curved, or do you think it will look straight? Crickets.
Who are you talking to?
Whoever, any flat earther. You take a 400-meter track, a 400-meter track, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you zoom in on 2 millimeters of that track, 2 millimeters. Do you think that will look curved, or do you think that will look straight?
It's going to look straight.
It's going to look straight. So why do you think that you, as a person standing on Earth, okay, a 25,000 mile ball, okay,
but what if you measured it?
The horizon is going to look curved.
We're talking about measurements right now, right?
One question here is, why should the bathtub be curved? And how much should it be curved? Why should you be able...
And the fact is, the bathtub is curved.
Yeah.
But it's curved by...
Sure it is.
It's curved by probably 1/10,000th of a millimeter at each end.
Okay, all we want to see is 1 foot. How do you see, how many miles you got to go to just see 1 foot where we can take a fishing line and take it out there and stretch it out there on the beach and figure out how far it is to the first foot of
David,
drop.
fishing line is insufficient for what you want to do. Stop
Hey,
it.
Nathan,
hey, can everybody look at my screen? I'm trying to share my screen, Nathan.
You can't pull the fishing line tight to make it straight. Stop it.
Can y'all see my
You're not
screen?
trying to
You guys
Can everybody look at my screen?
curvature on
I
a
can see it
ball
if everybody's quiet.
25,000 miles in diameter. In circumference, it's utterly ridiculous.
25,000 miles ain't nothing, man. I can drive that in 2 months.
In
How do you guys explain this?
2 months.
Now you have to
Right.
think in the time rate, okay? Now you cannot physically see lightning past 100 miles. Doesn't matter what part of the earth you're on, you can't see the lightning past 100 miles. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why can't you see past 100 miles?
I'd have to. I don't know if that-
International law, the Antarctica Treaty. I don't know why.
No, it's because we have limitations, mate. We're humans. We have
Yeah, like
Well,
yeah, like
you know,
the
lightning
curvature of
takes
the
place
Earth.
in the middle of very dark clouds for a start. So, I mean, I think that's probably, a factor at least.
Yeah, Jim Panda. We can hear a certain distance and we can see a certain distance, and that's the limitation of the human being.
Okay, so what's the distance we can see?
We can see 100 miles of light.
So we can't see any further than 100 miles.
Well,
how can we see the sun?
Under certain circumstances, it changes.
How can we see the sun then?
Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Very good point.
Very good point.
Were you not
3,000
prepared
miles
for
away,
that?
according to you guys.
You weren't prepared for that, really, Scott.
Simulation this week.
Maybe you should lay your license down for a little while until you get over it.
No.
Why are we showing this same
Reality-
footage again?
No, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't slack
This
a
is
bang
my
on
footage of
Think about the reality of it. Think about the reality.
You say
don't. I'm waiting on somebody to explain it. How I can see this right here.
You can't explain squat.
Sorry, I missed that. It's too good.
Where's the 480 feet of curvature that we're supposed to see?
Eaten up by refraction.
Not getting
Huh?
They don't judge you.
And it's not 480 feet.
Yes, it
You're
is.
not
According to
seeing-
the
you're
8
not-
inches square per mile.
You're not seeing the entirety of the city there.
Is there 480 feet missing right here?
There's not 480 feet missing, no.
So what does that tell you?
And you're not seeing down to the ground either.
But why is there even 10 feet missing?
Because they're illogical.
Yeah. And you can tell there's a lot of refraction because look how squished that tower is compared to how it's supposed to
Why
look.
is there? Why is there
Exactly.
even anything more than 0 feet missing?
I have proof.
Refraction
that
squishes
tentacles-
things?
I have proof.
Oh, you accept refraction now?
No, refraction is irrelevant in these pictures right here.
Oh,
because
of course it is.
she's in the same medium as these
You
buildings.
stop quoting Riley's.
We've already tried to
misquote.
talk about
I
this.
know.
You guys just don't accept
Right.
the truth.
Don't
What'd you
be
say?
as dumb as Riley. Don't be dumb as Riley.
How don't? It's supposed to be 480 feet of curvature, blocking this right
And
here, and
on
it's
a
not.
flat Earth, there should be
What is your
zero
answer to why
obstruction.
there's no
Depends
blockage
on
right
the
here?
observer's height.
Where's your 0
feet.
obstruction, G?
6 feet,
Listen,
That's it.
everybody.
30.84 miles.
The other
right here.
day, no, he's parading this around like he thinks he has some. The other day, there's another video out that I just popped up on the internet from basically the same location, same distance, the Rogers Center in it. This is
Your video.
refraction. This
I should
is
never see it though. So
refraction.
how does she take a picture where you can see it?
Well, when you say you should never see it, you're totally disregarding refraction. So
refraction brought this building up 480 something feet.
right,
Yes.
right, because
Almost.
refraction.
I have a question
No more-
first.
No more further questions.
Almost.
We have a question. One
Rest
second.
my
We have a
case.
question.
Oh, well, yeah, I just had a question. When you came to the calculation of 480 feet, what did you use to come to that?
I used
Was
the Earth curvature calculator. That's on Google, and that's what
Oh,
science goes by.
the GitHub one. Okay, yeah, cool. That's that uses derivatives of Pythagorean theorem, which is correct. So
It
Okay.
probably wasn't that one, Slopes.
Yeah. So can you put this data in there and see how much curvature I'm supposed to see with your
You don't know how?
the chart you got?
You don't know. Telling us what it says, and you're telling us to put it in. You don't know how.
I'm asking you to show me. I showed you my proof, and now you're saying you have another chart. So let's just see what your chart says.
We're
How about
not,
we
we're
do
not
that?
claiming a different chart, G.
You're showing a picture of the Toronto skyline. From
It's a video. We can see the whole video if you want.
Yeah. Okay. From how far?
30.84 miles. 6 feet.
Can you prove that?
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is Fredo's footage. As far as I can remember, it's
just notice how squished that base is, because look at the distance from where the observation point is to the to the water, and then from the top of the tower to the observation point.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks almost the same in that video. When you look at any picture of the CN Tower, you can see that is not how the CN Tower looks. That's because
So
there's
how do
so
you
much
prove it?
refraction going on that the whole image is getting compressed.
It requires
It's not
someone
compressed
to
due to refraction.
understand that argument, though.
But there's still several hundred feet of missing skyline there. And here's the other thing.
That's your opinion. That's not true. That's
Here's
not
the
true.
other thing. Jenna, the same exact video producer has videos where there's even more obscured. So why is there times where you can't see hardly any of the skyline?
I've shown them.
You haven't shown anything.
You're not supposed to ever see this. That's my argument.
Hey, you lying rat.
Hey,
yes,
you still
I did
can't
show
see.
them.
You can't see the dock. You can't see tons of stuff that's supposed to be there. You can't see. You can't see the bottom at least several hundred feet.
And David
It's
Blackson, I'm
obscured by
putting
a
you
wall
on
of
notice
water.
right now. You shut
I
your mouth
think you
when
all
you
need to
talk
go
to
do
me.
your own test, okay? I'm a pilot, and I've got up to 10,000 feet many times, and I can see 200 feet probably at the most.
That is frightening.
And that's on a good day. That's on a good day. Go to a mountain. Just go to the top of a mountain and see as far as you can see. The maximum you'll see is 200 miles. That is the maximum you can see.
Compare the two images that Free is showing right now. One taken from across the lake, the other taken from a closer distance, like out on a boat or something like that.
How far can we
Look
see
at
on
the
the ground?
difference.
How far can we see on the beach, on the ground, against level water? How far is that?
3 miles. 3
There
miles.
is no
3 miles.
absolute
Okay,
answer
so
to
all
that.
we have to
He's
do,
not.
all we have to do, all we have to do
wait a
is
minute.
go.
That's not true. With the horizon is 3 miles away, but we can see things.
Where
we
does
can
the
see
curve
things
start?
further
Where does
away than 3 miles.
Where does the curve start at on
David,
water?
stop. David,
That's what I
stop.
want to know. Where does the
David,
curve start on
stop.
water?
David.
If you're
David.
6 feet above sea level,
I would
about 3 miles away.
David.
Okay,
David,
this is
listen
30
to me.
miles.
David.
I'm listening.
Are you listening
You don't have no. You don't have no answers. I asked you a lot of questions.
If you
How
said
many
never
people
answered
in America,
nothing.
3 miles
in
away.
America have seen the UK?
I have a question for
No,
David.
none of them.
Let me just make sure he heard the
Sorry,
answer.
Jem,
since
can
he
you just
said
let Brenda get a point in? She's
David.
I
tried
have
2
a
or 3
question
times
for
now.
David. I
Sorry,
have a question
can you
for
guys
David.
just let Brenda speak? Thanks.
I have a question for David. Where
Yes.
does the curve start on a basketball?
At the top. At the top.
Not on the sides? Where does the
No,
curve
it's on
start
top.
on a basketball?
At the top.
What kind of
Really?
question
Are
is
you
that?
sure?
What is the top? What is the top of a
uh,
basketball?
Which part is the top?
The flat part.
You
There's
idiot.
no flat part on a basketball.
This is a joke. You're making a mockery of this whole thing. This whole debate is out of order.
Where does the curve start on a basketball, David?
On the top.
That's like Brenda.
Which part is the top?
The level part of the top of the ball.
There's no flat parts on a basketball. It's all round.
Okay, so there's no flat part on the earth either. So where's the measurement at?
And then why are you asking
So
where the
how
curve
far do we have? There is no curve. That's what we're debating here. You keep saying there's a curve, but there ain't no
You
curve.
can measure curve on a basketball. You can measure that.
David, curve on the earth.
Yourself.
You can measure
Listen
the
to how
curve.
you when the facts are presented to you, how you have to run away from them.
There was no facts.
By the way,
presented to me.
look at my screen share, and I can prove that tennis balls are flat. if you look at my screen share,
because they don't roll with the.
You can see clearly that tennis balls are flat. I have a picture. I have a picture. I'm sharing it, and it conclusively shows that
We don't see it, Randy. You're on that. Oh, now we do.
tennis balls are flat.
Oh,
So now you're showing us hairy balls. I like that.
Yeah, tennis balls are fuzzy. You might have noticed that.
Can somebody isolate that soundbite?
Tennis balls.
So then we got the ballers showing us hairy balls to prove the Earth is a ball. I love that.
If you zoom in far enough on a tennis ball, yes, it looks flat.
No, forget about tennis balls.
I don't know why that's
throw one
so
out
hard to understand.
Hey, we got some hairy balls over here.
Hairy tennis balls, yeah. Get back to reality and go out, get to mountain peaks and look out and see how far you can see. The maximum you can see is about 230 miles.
But that's
I've
just
seen videos
nonsense.
where the guy measures the top of the mountain. They're all even. They're all level. Every mountain top is level.
Flat earthers that there's even flat earthers that present this long range photography that's at greater distances than that.
Exactly.
But, there is no. You can't say you can only see about 230 miles based on what?
Panda.
Hold on.
I can see the sun, and that's 93 million miles away. But that's because that's what they told us. I don't believe that.
How far is it?
I understand that you don't believe it, but why have you chosen the figure of 230 miles?
Because I'm a pilot and I've flown up to 10,000 feet. I know how far I can see.
So what you're saying is that the most you've experienced is 230 miles. Therefore, the most anyone can experience.
No, not anyone. It's me. It's me. It's me.
Have you ever seen mountains in the distance?
Yeah, if the mountain's like 4,500 feet. Sorry, 5,000 feet tall.
Were they further away? Were they further away than 200 miles?
No, never. You can't see them that far away.
You can't ever see a mountain more than 200 miles away.
No, never.
I have my doubts about that.
Well, go and look for it, mate. Go on Google Map and look for it.
Google Map.
You cannot see that far.
Look on Google Map.
You can only hear a certain distance. You can only
that's an interesting challenge.
We have limitations on our senses. And our senses can see that distance and hear that distance. And that's how we are. We are humans. And
Can you explain to me what it is about our senses that limits us to 200 miles? What exactly, how does it work physically? Because from what I understand, right, you have your retina, which has chemicals in it that react to light rays that hit it, right, to photons of light that hit it. So your eyes are nothing more than receivers, right?
Yeah.
So why is it that they're not like hands that can reach out to a certain distance, right? They're just receivers. So why are they only limited to 200 miles?
I'm only guessing 200 miles. I don't know personally. I'm just guessing. It's about that. I'm guessing.
Well, why would it be limited at all?
Because you got hearing. Can you hear someone talking about you? How away? No, you can't. You can't hear them.
How far is the moon and the sky and the stars and the planets?
Well,
how far are they?
The official figure is 237,000 miles.
I'm going to do one last plug as this show has around 10 minutes left to go. So if you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Usually at this point, I'd say hit the link in the info box below this video to join the debate, but as it stands, there are 10 people currently on the panel, so you may find that it just says hangout full. That may be the case for a few more minutes. We will see if anybody drops between now and the end of the show. If not, feel free to join the next debate by clicking on the link in that info box. Oh, maybe one person has just dropped, we shall see. So there may be a chance for any last minute trolling if you would like to do so. One more time, if you've not done so already, please share the show on Skype, Facebook, all those good places. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. With that, I'll hand you back to the action. I will come back one more time just to thank you all for watching.
What is it?
Brenda. A man's
That
got
describes
qualifications.
What is perspective?
Describes how your eyes work. You have to
No,
understand
no, it
this
isn't. What
to
is
really be in
perspective?
this debate. You
What
really
is
have to
perspective?
understand that. And that's the
I
big
understand
problem.
what
It seems
perspective
like y'all don't
is.
understand.
We all have a
What
perspective.
is perspective?
David,
Some of us have a wrong perspective.
David, stop.
Some
You're
of
not
us
going to
have a
jump
right
in here and
perspective.
say free. David, stop.
Free.
Yeah, nobody has to save me. I know I'm right. That's not even
You're not
that's
right. You didn't
regular
say
knowledge
anything.
right there. That's
Come on,
What is
perspective. It's
perspective?
not a flat Earth term. It's not a globe term.
Right,
It's
right.
what it is.
You're not
What is it?
using
It's nothing to do with the flat Earth. It's nothing to do with ball Earth.
So what is it?
You're human.
What is perspective?
You can only see a certain distance.
No, that's not what perspective is. What is it?
Free.
It's true.
It explains how your eyes work
What
and
is
the limits
the
of your eyes
definition
and
of
how you
perspective?
see. How you see. You guys are making
Could you be
you're
more
trying to
vague,
prove
please?
something using a tool which is your eyes.
Could you be more vague? Could you
Can you listen and let me talk? Can you let me talk? You guys, it's like you guys are using a tool and you don't even know how it works. You don't know how your
I'm
eyes work.
asking you, and you can't answer me.
I'm telling you, it describes
telling
how
me
you can
what?
see. It
No, it
describes how
doesn't.
your eyes work.
That's not what perspective is.
Well, you tell me, Brenda.
Perspective.
Brenda, I always used to say to my friends and that, I can see very well. I can see the sun that's 93 million miles away. But that's because I was deceived. I was deceived in the distance.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
No, it's not
Free
irrelevant.
has-
It's completely
So Free,
false.
I'm answering.
I can only see a certain distance, and that's the reality of the human eye.
Yeah, I'm answering Free. He asked me what perspective is, and perspective is simply a matter of representing 3D objects on a two-dimensional plane. That's what
Right,
perspective.
how your eyes see it. Yeah.
And objects appear smaller the further away they are from you. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's correct. Does it say
So the sun is
anything else
close.
about any limit to how far they are?
And Brenda, you
So
can't.
you're saying there's no limit to how far you can see.
Huh?
There's no limit to how far you can see. Is that what
There's
you're
no
saying?
limit to how far you can see. Is that what you're saying?
No, is that what you're saying? I'm asking you.
There is no limit.
Correct.
I have no further
Because
questions.
your eyes don't see by reaching out and touching things. Your eyes are just receivers. So if the light can travel across the galaxy or across the universe, you can see it.
Angular resolution.
Right. So perspective is simply the fact that things farther away appear smaller. That's what we call
But here's something that you can practically do with a friend, which I've done, which is you can watch the International Space Station go between you and a distant friend, and you can measure that angle, and you can measure how high it is off the Earth, and you can see that ISS for 1,000 miles. You could have the ISS be 1,000 miles away, and you can see it, and someone that's 2,000 miles away can see it also in the opposite direction.
How about a jumbo jet? You can't see it when it's at 30,000 feet.
Just so
David.
you
We're
guys
talking about
know,
a
there
source
is.
of light.
Sorry
When
to
you talk about
interrupt.
a candle, it's well known you can see a candle at 30 miles.
That's bollocks. That's bollocks.
Just to make you
black.
aware, there is
In
about
pitch
5 minutes
black,
left.
you can
So
see
we've
it.
got about 5 minutes left on this
Pitch black,
broadcast.
you
So
can see a candle at 30 miles with the naked eye.
Oh, I've not seen many. How many have you seen?
That's with the point source of light.
No, that's bollocks. You read it online, and you're repeating shit you read online. You cannot.
Good job, Flat
No
Earthers.
swearing,
tonight.
please.
We whooped up on them tonight.
All right,
Y'all
he
better
didn't
come back
read
on
our.
you sure
game
did,
next time.
David. You
Y'all
sure
better
did,
bring out
David.
some other people next time, because I'm gonna come back on here and we're gonna get on you again. We're gonna whoop you.
And what are you going to do? Just continuously
We go- we-
repeat how you've won? Is that going to be
Yeah,
your
well,
contribution?
you have no proof. You have no proof. The point here is that this thing, this argument hadn't been. This argument has not been settled. Okay, it hadn't been settled.
But it won't ever be settled with you because you're very emotionally attached.
We showed you the experiments the guy did on a lake.
Nathan, my friend.
Measuring
Yeah,
from
how
the
many
surface of
miles?
the actual
Yeah,
water, and you just threw it away. You didn't accept it.
Yeah, I
Somehow that's
I
less
stretch a
convincing than the
fishing
flat
string
Earth.
across that. Let's put a fishing string across that lake. You want to? We get a
And
fishing
how would
string.
you ever get
How
a
far
fishing
is it?
string that's a mile long, perfectly straight?
It probably do
Straight
it.
to
I
within
bet.
8 inches per mile straight. How would that ever work?
You got to do it with a laser. I told this guy last time. You do it with a laser with
Brenda,
mirrors.
I forgot to mention, Brent,
With mirrors.
mention, a candle 30 miles away. What's the curve should be
Laser.
like with
By
that?
the way, light bends.
With mirrors.
Right.
Yeah, light
Stick a
bends.
straw in a glass. Okay, light
there
bends.
we go. There we go. You guys cannot prove it on the ground. You've lost
cannot
again.
see a
The
car
Earth cannot
from
be
fucking
proven
10
there's a
miles
ball
away.
on the ground. You
Cannot
lost
see a
again.
car.
How can you prove that we live on a ball on the
You
ground?
cannot see it.
You can't do it. We can't do it. You need to pull P. Mars back out because he's the only one that has a little bit of common sense. Nathan.
The object of the exercise is to deny.
Would you agree, Nathan, that you can't see a car 10 miles away?
That's all they do.
What are you talking about? You can see cars from the cruising altitude of planes that are in the distance.
Right.
That's more than 10 miles.
Yeah, boats going over the horizon on the sea are going over the curve too, right?
Look, we have two people.
A car.
That's how they start. That's how they brainwashed all you ballers to begin with. Oh, that boat's going over the horizon, so
We have two
let's
people
live on a
that
ball,
measure
huh?
the altitude of the ISS. He did it. They did it.
Nobody can sit through this thing,
This
but
is
we
easily
said our piece over
verifiable.
here. Ain't nobody
This
gonna
is
re-listen to
easily
this. But it's all right.
That's it, David. Run away.
This is the public.
No, I'm gonna be back. That's the problem, y'all.
Because they don't.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna debunk y'all again.
You're going to be worse than ever.
The Concorde jet proved it already. How come they hadn't got a jet that goes around the world following the sun? They have jets that go that fast.
David, what is that going to prove?
How much fuel we got to
Nothing.
buy? I bet we
Why
get
do you
enough
think
flat buy the
anyone
fuel
would
to
be
do it.
bothered about debunking flat earthers? Why would they?
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate it. Y'all be careful.
Careful. I'm good.
Oh dear, sorry, Nathan. I've got you into trouble.
No, I'm all right. I'll be careful.
Thanks, Nathan. I did get a better hand there, but Brenda was talking complete bollocks.
What was I talking? I wasn't saying anything just
Yeah,
now.
you talk bollocks, mate. You talk
What?
bollocks. Sorry.
I wasn't talking anything just now. I've been sitting here. I've completed a nice bottle of Gewürztraminer. That's what's made this.
The reality is, you can only see a certain distance. You can only hear it.
That's false.
Can you prove
that?
that?
Is false.
Can you prove that?
Of course I can, because I'm a human being. And I know
Well, go ahead then. Prove it. Prove it.
I don't have to prove it to you. I can
Yes,
prove
you
it to
do.
myself.
Well, you're gullible, then.
Okay, Brenda. Okay, I'm going to say something now, but I'm going to turn my mic down. Can you hear me? You probably won't. No, because you're in America. I'm guessing you're in America.
I heard you just fine.
Yeah, because I've got the mic on. If I turn it down, you won't hear me because I'm in the UK.
So what is
you won't hear me from the UK?
Does this really pass for intelligence over there?
Well, if you can see forever, you can hear forever, right? You can hear anything.
No.
Holy
You
cow.
can see forever.
Oh my
That's what you
God.
guys, that's what you guys
See
said, right?
or hear lightning past 100 miles, and that is the most powerful thing on the
You can
earth.
hear further than your ears can hear with their sonic telescopes that can magnify distant
Where'd you
sounds.
pick
So
that guy
yes,
up
you can.
from?
And with that, I'm going to say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for joining us on this live debate. And also a massive thank you to all of the panel for making this possible. And one last thank you to Scooby-Doo for donating to the Super Chat. Thank you very much indeed. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley and I will see you all in the next video.